Hello YouTube, how y'all doing? The last video failed. I tried to record a video and it failed. The outside window is open, the cunt upstairs is vacuuming, so you're gonna hear noises that are not me. And you know how many fucks I give. 0. So I wanted to talk about altars. Okay, so here's one. Here's 2. It's Christmas time still, so fuck off. And here's a 3rd one. Okay. I have a 4th one, but I can't show you the 4th one because it's private. It's has a working going on. Up here, you've seen this thing before. Like I've got herbs, I've got like witchy things, I've got some fire oil going, herbs, other stuff down there. But this is a working space. This is my main working altar, and then I have one in my room, and there's the Mother Mary one, and there's a money altar out there. Okay, so is there a specific way to setting up an altar? So I'm gonna get a little controversial on you guys for a second. If you are brand new, like we're talking baby, like just popped out of that fucking vagina, wrecked that vagina on your way out, carved your name in it, and you are a brand new witch. First of all, you need to pick up the Blue Book, the Buckland's book. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Amazon, Buckland's, Blue Book, whatever, just Google it, you'll figure it out. This book will teach you Wicca and witchcraft. And you need to go down this path. I cannot say this enough times. Going down the Wiccan path when you are brand new teaches you basics, teaches you elements, teaches you setting up altars, teaches you everything that you need to know. Spend about 2, 3, maybe even 4 years on that path. Really immerse yourself, okay? And then decide that you want to go off onto a witch or whatever. Maybe you want to be a witch, maybe you want to be a Satanist. I don't know. I personally, in my personal opinion, I cannot say this enough times, think that if you are a Wiccan, you are not necessarily a witch. You are just a Wiccan, somebody who practices a religion. You might practice witchcraft, you might not practice witchcraft, whatever. This is just my personal opinion. Everybody will probably argue different, whatever. I don't care. It's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Okay? So it's going to teach you how to set up an altar in a very specific way, and none of my altars are set up that way. They used to be when I was new to the path many moons ago, but now I have mine set up in very different ways. So for now, because there's a tree here and I can't sit there, this is my working space, okay? So I usually am always burning a loose incense here. I've got sage sticks. I usually have a white sage stick there, but I'm so full up on white sage ash that I don't need to be burning one. I use cedar for calling the spirits, and I use black sage whenever I need to sage the place. I don't like the way black sage burns. It just... When I sage my place, I like it smoky. I like it when you walk in and you're like literally have to put your hand out in front of you to see where the fuck you're going. That's how smoky it needs to be. Okay? So I've got white candles all around. White for me, and even here and here. White for me is very purifying, very relaxing. I've got, some selenite. Basically what happens when I come to this altar, and this is my opinion and yours can differ, is that when I come to the altar, I'm coming to this side, and I'm going for my Book of Shadows or my incense, tea, whatever recipe book, or I'm going to check out some inspiration, get some inspiration from this big 5,000 spell book, which personally, again, personal opinion incoming, if you are brand new to the craft, you do not need to even be looking at this book, touching this book, or going anywhere near this book. I've got encyclopedia down here and my herb book that you guys have seen in my herbal videos. I have, when I'm working with incense, so on and so forth. You can see it's been burned a little bit. Oops. But the point here that I'm trying to get to is that your altar should be set up in a way that reflects your craft and what you're trying to do. So because this is my main working space, I have my Mother Mary candle here. I've got some incense in case I need to light a stick for something. I have my main incense burner. I've got, banishing oil. I've got tarot cards under there. I've got the things I need right here. I use this cauldron sometimes when I am burning sage, I'll put loose sage in there, light it on fire, or if I'm burning petitions, whatever. That's the same thing with that cauldron there too. I will do the exact same concept. So that's how I personally think an altar should be set up. And in my personal opinion, altars, yes, they should be cleaned every once in a while. Like this one needs to be cleaned off because it's starting to get really dirty. But if you always have an immaculately clean altar, like you can see there's candle wax being spilled here, so on and so forth. People have told me, oh, you should iron these tapestry cloths, or you should put glass down. You know, whatever. I'm not too concerned about it because these tapestries are like $5, if that. I can always buy new ones. But the point I'm getting to is that if your altar is always immaculately clean, always organized, and it looks like it's a show home piece, which is usually how I like to have my altars when I'm not using them, it just shows that you don't use your altar. Now, I'm not saying you should always have a messy altar or you should go out and sprinkle ashes everywhere and stuff like that, but your altar should at least show that you use it. Like here you can see that I use this altar like it's a fucking mess right now. I am planning to clean it, I'm just lazy. That's literally my excuse. This altar I do try to keep a little bit clean because I'm not always working at it. If I have a working going on, it's usually in here and there's just ashes in there. Oh, there's just ashes in there right now. So there's nothing going on. But if I am using this altar, you know, it does get a little bit messy. I do clean it up, so on and so forth. I usually use this altar if I'm doing some sort of curse or hex or protection, or if I'm burning a petition because, you know, there's a window right there. If I'm burning sage, like a lot of sage, it gets really smoky in this whole place, and then, you know, with the window it takes some of that away. Look, it's my snow water. But that's my opinion on altars. Altars that you use, that you constantly work at, we keep going back to this one because whenever I need to do a spell or a working or whatever, I'm at this one, okay? I'm always at this one. And as a result, I'm right here at this space. And you can tell it gets used. It's always, well, it's not always being used, but it does get used. And that's what a witch's altar should reflect. It should reflect their craft. It should reflect what kinds of practices they do. Like if I was doing baby sacrificial magic, there'd be dead babies all over the place and lots of blood everywhere. But there isn't, because I don't do that kind of magic. But there is elements of my craft, folk-based elements, and I personally think these are folk-based elements. I mean, I have my Mother Mary candle, I've got tons of different incense, I've got candles all around. At nighttime, which you saw in the last video, this altar is usually lit up because I live my life by candles. But this altar is usually lit up. I never light my Christmas ornament candles. Oh, those are just the only ones. Because they're Christmas ornaments, and you don't fuck with Christmas ornaments, in my opinion. But, so the point I'm trying to get to with this video is that a witch's altar should reflect a witch's craft. It should reflect their path, and it should at least show that you use it. Now, I'm not saying you need to go and show your altar on YouTube, because there's a lot of witches who don't show anything about their path at all, and that's perfectly fine. I am somebody who lives my craft in the public. Now, I'm not always showing you, oh, I lit an incense, or, you know, I lit a match, or I'm smudging my place, or whatever. There's a lot of workings I don't show you, but the ones I do show you are for educational purposes mostly, okay? So I hope this kind of gives you a little bit of information on witches' altars. Like I said, if you are brand new, get the Buckland's book. And in there, they show you how to set up a Wiccan altar. And, you know, practice setting that up a few times. And then over, you know, a course of a period of time, add elements that reflect you and your path that you want to take. Okay? So I see a lot of altars on YouTube. And, you know, I get a lot of inspiration, and there's Pinterest, and I get a lot of inspiration from there, but at the end of the day, the altar is going to be set up in a way that reflects me and my craft and my practices. Okay? So I hope that gives you, I don't know, some education, inspiration. I don't know, and I don't care. But what I do care about is that you head down to that description bar, click on that PayPal or Patreon, and give. Okay? Always give. Always give. All of the money that you do donate, if you donate, you don't have to, but if you do, that would be awesome. But all the money that you do donate goes directly back into the show. You've seen cooking editions, and you know, in May we're going to be doing some arts and crafts and so on and so forth. Okay, so make sure to donate, make sure to follow along, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like all of that business. Okay, and share this with your friends and family. Even die-hard Christian Bible thumpers, share it with them. If Mormons come knocking at your door, instead of dragging them into your house and raping them because they're extremely beautiful, drag them into your house and point them at my YouTube channel and be like, you need to watch this and donate. Okay, so have a fabulous day.